hand of God is dearly bought indeed by sale of what must truly be termed soul, because it grows from an essential need to unify with spirit as a whole. Be definitely sure, before you choose the type of God you honestly admit inspires your best beliefs and truest views, because you then must learn to live with it. Why bother with divinity of any kind to complicate the workings of a human mind? Here is one reason, taken by itself alone, which might change dubious opinions on its own. If we believe naught better than ourselves exists, and this unhelpful attitude to life persists, we cannot hope to raise ourselves much higher than whatever limits are imposed on mortal man. Providing we do not intend to be evolved, and mean to live as humans till we are dissolved, why then we have no need of deity at all, while we are satisfied to stay so very small. Whoever thinks they are of such inferior worth, they would condemn themselves to everlasting earth. Have they no inner interests? Will they never see that there are finer forms of living energy? We can progress no further than our faith believes. So, if we have no confidence that it perceives a higher type of life than ours, what hope is there that it will lead us out of this to anywhere? This may seem tenuous, but only faith and hope give humans of this earth the very slightest scope for making themselves more than beings of blood and breath, by linking with a conscious life transcending death. Today, the hopeful moderns of our human race translate this into scientific terms of space, and formulate a future for us very far away on pleasant planets round some other star. They take the old ideas and bring them up to date. Our hell is nuclear, while heaven is a state where goody boys and girls obeying all the rules are mass-produced by millions in state-run schools. Their gods are governments of other solar schemes, whom they would like as allies while they weave big dreams for fixing up trade treaties or obtaining powers which bring them profits in those worlds as well as ours. Perhaps this is religion of a curious sort, though scarcely starting very noble trains of thought. Yet if it draws attention to some high ideal, it could lead on to something far more real. That is, a sense of presence or experience whereby we realize the power of providence relating to ourselves in actuality as our essential means of immortality. This experience is past all explanation. Nothing can describe it but a revelation. Whatever that may be, it makes life's meaning plain, and from thenceforth we shall not be the same again. Not that a guarantee of God is any use for saving us from human evils and abuse, excepting that seeing some point behind a perfect plan will help us understand the weaknesses of man. Though do not think your earthly troubles will all cease, and once you find a God, your soul will be at peace. Far from the tranquil living that you might expect, it could indeed produce the opposite effect. Once we were told, as an admonishment to heed, that devil-raising was a very dangerous deed. But it was seldom said, which seems a trifle odd, it might be much more hazardous to call up God. It has been said the devil grants us our desires and helps us play with them on earth until he tires, while God grants our necessities and does not shirk from making us earn everything with wholesome work. This might not be so grim in actuality, but it would be a useful practicality to bear in mind gods seldom give us what we would, and often grind us through their mills for our own good. So, looking for a God, means taking quite a chance on being led a complicated cosmic dance. Yet this is part of life itself which we must face, if we would ever rise above the human race. No one else except the God in you can tell you just exactly what to do, but if it helps to answer any questions, here are at least some possible suggestions. Take 10 ideas, the finest you can find, connecting living spirit and mankind. Relate these to each other by some plan that seems to link divinity with man. For instance, take the best we know of Earth and all we think has any solid worth. Call this good management, or some such thing that means the kingdom of a supreme king. Consider our most basic psychic parts, which motivate and stir our secret hearts through sexual or living situations that we may think of as our life foundations. Then our main intellectual pursuits in life, while struggling to gain those fruits we seek through learning how its story may best be modified to bring us glory. We must not forget we have emotions giving rise to some peculiar notions, so sublimating these must surely be a very special inner victory. Now comes the centrally important theme of balanced harmony throughout our scheme. Finding this is a most pleasant duty, because it answers best of all to beauty. Thinking of duty should not be severe, and life within this world has made it very clear when human acts of enterprise begin, we need some guiding sense of discipline. To counterbalance this, a milder note is necessary as an antidote, and retribution will not be provoked while mercy and compassion are invoked. Yet higher still, a sense of sympathy should move each living soul to empathy, with all its comprehension can command, how deep indeed we need to understand. Higher again our inner sight must lift in search of that most spiritual gift entitled wisdom, knowing what is true and what is false in everything we do. Beyond all else, right at the very top, there comes a point our concepts have to stop at ultimate life aim. No other noun explains it except summit or the crown. And then, why nothing? What could ever be descriptive of unknown infinity? Yet there all life originates from nil. Both gods and men alike begin by will. Conceive each point with care, then correlate them all together, so they show a state of living between human and divine, or otherwise, a tree of life design. From concepts such as these, make the best God you can. Be conscious as you please, but let it live through man. How else will we evolve past this imperfect state, except by true resolve to find our finest fate? Whatever this may be, however far away, call it divinity. Then think at it and say, whatever else your being may be, I think of you as life of me, beyond my body, mind, or soul, my infinite, eternal goal. While you are that, then so am I, a life that does not ever die, however much we interchange through our creative conscious range. Why should I argue and debate if you exist, and speculate about your nature and your will within our world for good and ill? How can I tell how long we need to find each other, or indeed, if there might be some moment when you will be manifest to men? One single incarnation, or some many multi-millions more, what does it matter, if I climb a little higher every time? If I accept that you are true, and I am on my way to you as best I can, will you please show me somewhat how I ought to go? I may be but one single soul within your macrocosmic whole. Since I am one, and so are you, we share that much in common, too. Just as a human, I am small, and almost nothing. You are all. My body dies, my mind decays, my soul disperses many ways. Nothing is left for me but you, the one that I am living through, and such is all I mean to be, in peace profound, eternally. Ah.